I'm Jessie Heredia, and you're listening to Mom Empowered, where I help moms ditch their anger, break free from anxiety, and create the life they've always wanted. This show is for the mom who's ready to become more free and empowered. Okay, hello ladies. Today I want to talk to you guys about a common struggle that a lot of us moms have, that I myself have, which is this feeling that our kids are keeping us from getting things done. This can look like our kids are interrupting us while we're trying to work, or interrupting us while we're trying to clean the house, or maybe our kids are skipping their naps during the times when we just want to be alone or we just want to get things done. And this could also mean that, those times when our kids are especially itty bitty and they just want to be held all day long, and that itself makes getting anything done especially hard as well. So this is what we're talking about today. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I'm in that season with you guys. A lot of you ladies know that I have a newborn. I have an almost 2-month-old, which is crazy. Time is both going really slowly and somehow flying by, and I don't even know how that's possible. But I have a 2-month-old, I have 2 toddlers, and I will admit that those first couple of weeks of having a newborn and still wanting to do so much. I mean, we had just moved into our new house. I wanted to unpack. I wanted to get back into working. I wanted to create new content. It was especially hard for me to see how I could do it all. It was especially hard as I was gearing up for the end of my maternity leave to really imagine, how can I care for this baby and, for my other kids while also wanting to do all these things that just didn't seem to work out. One minute I'm trying to write some content, and then Josie is crying for me, so I need to go scoop her up and hold her, and sometimes, no one wants to nap, and so that time that, I just craved to be alone was taken from me. And I was getting really, really frustrated. That was where I was just a couple of weeks ago. Before I, officially went back to work, it felt really hard. And I felt drained just trying to do it all. And the thought that kept occurring to me, that kept coming back, is my baby is keeping me from getting things done. And maybe that's a thought that you have, either my baby is keeping me from getting things done, or my kids are keeping me from getting things done. And this is a thought that has crept up all throughout my motherhood journey, and you probably have noticed it as well. And what I want to talk about today is how that thought alone is so powerful in our lives, meaning that it influences our actions, it influences our moods, and that there are new thoughts that actually could be just as powerful, but really create more of the actions and the mood and the feelings that you want. Because as it stands, telling yourself, my kids are keeping me from getting things done, my baby is keeping me from getting things done, if this is the thought you are having, what you are most likely feeling is frustration, stress, overwhelm, anger, maybe even resentment. And when you feel this way, it is not uncommon that you will find yourself lashing out more. You will find yourself feeling distracted, even when you're with your baby and you're not giving her the attention she craves, and you're not fully giving your work the attention that you want to give it, or your house the attention that you want to give it. And not only are you distracted, in that moment of thinking, why can't I just get things done? This kid is keeping me from getting things done. You also most likely may find yourself distracted the rest of the day, because there will now be this lingering thought of what didn't get done and what was sabotaged, and how frustrated that made you feel. So just from this thought alone, our kids are keeping me from getting things done. My kid is keeping me from getting things done. My baby is keeping me from getting things done. You can see how it creates this effect where not only are things not getting done, but you're probably also feeling a little bit crummy about it. You're feeling bad about your behavior. You're feeling bad about not being fully engaged. You're feeling bad about the way your attitude is around your kids. You continue to see your baby or your kids as an inconvenience instead of just enjoying them and being present with them. You continue to feel overwhelmed and stressed by what's not getting done. Your to-do list just creates all of this unrest in you. And I've noticed this happening for me. Like I said, this was just a few weeks ago. I noticed this happening for me, and I was not happy with that. I was not happy with the way I was feeling. I was not happy with the results that I was creating, how I didn't want to fully be around my kids. I didn't want to fully take care of Josie. I didn't want to, I felt so helpless in a way and a little bit frustrated, all because, like I said, this one thought. My kids are keeping me from getting things done, or my baby is keeping me from getting things done. You guys, do not underestimate the power of a single thought. Just a single thought. Doesn't matter if it crept in and snuck in without you noticing, or if it's a thought that you have been giving your time and attention to way more than you need to. There is so much power in just a single thought. And I know that might sound discouraging as I'm explaining, like, okay, like here's what's happening. Here's the cycle that's being created from this one thought alone. And you might be feeling discouraged by that. But the truth is that just as much as that thought has power, other thoughts can have power too. Other thoughts can create a new reality for you. If you do not like the results that you're creating, if you're not liking the actions that you're taking and the feelings that you're feeling because of what you are thinking about your kids, because you're thinking that they're keeping you from something, then I want to encourage you to really get laser focused on what it is that you do want. What are the results you do want to create? Maybe it's that you want to get things done, but not only that, but you want to be happy and feel at peace and feel calm even when you don't, even when you can't. I'm sure that another result that you want is that you want to be the best mom you can be no matter what, instead of just feeling like a very accomplished, productive one. It's not just that you crave productivity. I know that deep down, all of us moms, we want to feel like we are doing an amazing job as moms. But it doesn't mean that productivity and accomplishment doesn't matter to us too. But it's so common that we can get distracted from one or the other. So what is it that you want? Do you want both? And if you do, then what's going to have to change? First of all, what's going to have to change with what you're doing, with how you're behaving? First of all, you're probably going to want to embrace the slowness a little bit more instead of resisting it. That resistance that you are feeling is creating frustration and resentment in you. It's creating the stress and the overwhelm in you. It's you deciding that you're going to resist what is happening. You're going to resist your current circumstances instead of leaning into it. And I want to challenge you to really contemplate what if embracing the slowness, what if leaning into the slowness is the key to you getting more of what you want? What if it really is? Another thing that you're probably going to need to change is you need to come up with better plans or better systems or a different routine that doesn't leave you trying to squeeze things into a time frame that just isn't working. That just isn't working. And if you are going to do those things, if you're going to take those different actions, make those changes, you cannot be coming from a place of frustration or resentment or stress. I had to realize this just last month. If I want to be able to get things done, I cannot stay stuck in my pity party and I cannot stay stuck in resentment because it's robbing me of the kind of mom that I want to be around my kids, and it's keeping me from being fully happy to get things done because I'm stressed and I'm frazzled and I'm not being fully productive because I'm thinking about all that I'm feeling and all that I'm experiencing and how unhappy I am with that. So if you are going to do more of what it is that you want, and not have your kids feel like this big interruption or this big distraction, you can't be coming from a place of frustration or stress. You're going to need to be coming from a place of calm, from a place of peace, from a place of empowerment, confidence, contentment. And the only way that you and I are going to be able to feel these things is by focusing in on what is the single thought, or what are the thoughts that are creating the things that I'm not happy with, and what is going to change that? How can I take this thought captive and choose to declare something new about my situation? And back when I was in this, just a little while ago, I came up with this whole list of new thoughts that I began to declare over myself. And these might be thoughts that you want to write down, that you want to borrow and use for yourself because they're so powerful. And these thoughts were, my baby is not robbing me. My baby is giving me an opportunity to try something new. My baby is not keeping me from getting things done. My baby is giving me an opportunity to reprioritize and slow down. My baby is not keeping me from getting things done. My baby is giving me an opportunity to get creative and to maybe even find my best rhythm yet. These were the beliefs I needed to have. These were the beliefs I challenged myself to have. And once I allowed myself to have them, I noticed a huge shift in my attitude and in my behavior. And I'm wondering, what if you were to believe these things for yourself today? How different might you feel? How different might you show up? How different might you act? Like maybe you will find yourself coming up with ideas you would have never come up with otherwise. Like new ways that you want to simplify, new methods of trying things, a new system, a new routine you want to try out. I noticed this for myself. Like once I changed my thoughts and created a new belief for myself, I noticed I actually was coming up with really creative ideas for content all the time. Like even if I'm, rocking my baby to sleep when I wish that I could be at the computer, or even when I'm, just kind of, going about my everyday mom life, even though I would love to just sit down and be alone, I was still attuned to new things that kept popping up, new creative ways to serve and to show up and to get things done. I was coming up with new ways to simplify housework, new routines that would make things run so much more smoothly. And it was because I wasn't in a mode of resistance. I was leaning in. I was embracing it. Maybe for you, when you allow yourself to have more of these thoughts, you will be teaching your brain that it's okay to slow down, and you will find yourself enjoying each moment more than you ever have before, even if things aren't going as planned. You will enjoy your day more no matter how unfinished your to-do list still is. You will enjoy your kids more no matter how much time you are having to spend with them. I'm going to share one more story. This is one that I've shared a couple of times on the podcast and in the group, but it's a story that is so near and dear to my heart because it really was a catalyst for so much in my life. And it's the story of when my eldest, Tessa, was just a few months old. We had found a really good rhythm. She was taking like 2 good naps in the morning, and during that time, I was having my time in the Word. I was maybe doing yoga. I was taking care of myself. I was resting. I was worshiping. I was praying. I had like this great routine. It was amazing. And then, as all babies do, at some point or another, she began to drop her nap. She was dropping her nap, the one that I loved so much, and I was resisting it. I resisted it so bad to the point where I was crying every morning. I was yelling. I was raising my voice, and it got to the point where there was one day where I was so loud. I was crying and sobbing and screaming so loud, just, why won't you go to sleep? Because I was so angry that my husband, who was sleeping at the time, he was working night shift, so he sleeps at home. He was in the next room. He came busting into the nursery where I was, and was like, "What are you doing?" And he had known that this was something that was frustrating me, and he knew that it was getting to this point. But this was finally the first time where he was like, "You've got to stop this, Jessie. When are you going to figure out that it's time to do something different? Enough." And him saying that to me felt like the best kind of slap in the face, because like in that moment I realized I am doing this to myself. I'm doing this to myself. I'm doing this to her. She's not doing this to me. I'm the one who's resisting it. And it's time for me to move on, to accept what is happening, and to try something new. So Grant, he told me, why don't you go take her to the park? Why don't you bundle up? It was a little bit chilly that day. Bundle up, get some sweaters, get a blanket, bring her in the stroller, and just walk around the park. Just do what you gotta do, Jess. Just get out of the house. You can't do this anymore. So I did. I listened to him. I packed us up. I went to the park, and that day I walked for 2 miles, worshiping and crying and praying the entire time. It was the best time that I had had with the Lord in a while. It felt amazing. It felt freeing. And that was the day when it just finally occurred to me that it's okay to do something new. It's okay to try something new. Even though you might love what you have now, it's okay to embrace something new. And I realized that this was such a great experience that I could keep doing this. So I actually did that for like a full year. We were going like pretty much every morning. I would pack us up. I would bring my earbuds and like my favorite worship playlist, and I would just walk and walk and walk. And that was the like some of the best moments from that first year of motherhood for me. They were so amazing. And I realized that maybe this was what I was meant to uncover all along. This was what was meant for me all along. I know that some of you ladies are feeling really drained and frustrated these days. And I get it. I get it. I've been there. Maybe you don't have any help and it feels like the whole world is on your shoulders. Maybe you're stressed because with each day that goes by, this to-do list just keeps getting longer and longer. Maybe you have a passion or a dream that's on your heart. You have a big goal in your mind, but you're disappointed that you don't have as much time as you'd like to make it happen, to pursue it. And here's what I want to offer you today, if that is you. You absolutely have a choice. You can choose to stay frustrated and upset. There have been many times where I have chosen that, where I've just wanted to stay frustrated and upset because I didn't want to accept that things weren't working. But what is that actually doing for you? How is it actually serving you? I think if you are really honest with yourself, you'll realize that the only thing your frustration does is make things worse. It's by robbing you of what is, by robbing you of what could be. That's what's happening here. So I want to challenge you. If you are in a place where you're sick of that, you're tired of the results that you're seeing in your life, you're tired of the feelings that you're feeling and the actions that you're taking, and you want something different, I want to challenge you to find joy today. Allow yourself to find joy. Allow yourself to be creative. Allow yourself to try new things and experiment, because when you do, it is so much easier to see the possibilities that are right in front of you, that were maybe in front of you all along. It is so much more likely that you will be able to get the things done that you want to do. It just might look different than how you expected or how you wanted it to originally. It's more likely that you will be able to find rest and feel more at peace about the things that don't get done. And you will enjoy everyday motherhood more instead of spending your days wanting to escape from it. This is my hope for you. I want you to allow yourself to shift your perspective, to pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself, and intentionally choose new thoughts and new beliefs that will serve you and make a powerful, powerful impact. And if you need help with this, you know where to find me. There are still spots open in my 6-month Mom Empowered coaching program. And I would love to have you. I would love to work with you on this. We can work on these things together. We can work on more things together to get you to a place of feeling healthier and happier and more empowered than ever. If you're ready to learn more and to take that step, you can go to my website to learn more and to fill out a form for a free empowerment call, which, by the way, your kids are totally invited to. And this is one thing that motherhood does not have to keep you from. Motherhood does not have to keep you from finding and seeking out support. All right, ladies, I love you. I am praying for you, and I will chat with you next week.